Just missing the assignment this week, y'all. I've been late every night, I think. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Glad to have you here. Welcome to the show. My name is Stuart Davis, Flawed Man of God. I'm a deacon at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Not a pastor, I'm not a biblical scholar, and I haven't been to seminary. I'm not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. Just here to talk to you about God, talk to you about Jesus, talk about the Holy Spirit, talk to you about the Bible, talk about Christianity, talk about a wide variety of different topics, issues, current events, and give you my perspective on them, one that I think is reflective of your average Christian guy. I've been a Christian all my life, 40 years, non denominational Protestant. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination. I'm just in the word daily, trying to do a better job day in and day out. Sometimes I'll get it right, many times I'll get it wrong. But what you'll get from me are honest takes anytime I'm streaming, anytime you see me on here. So, if you're somebody who is interested in learning more about Jesus, learning more about Christianity, trying to find meaning in all of this, welcome to the show. Glad you're here. Hopefully, this place can serve as a space for you to learn more about Christianity and about the Word and about Christ and about God and about the Holy Spirit. Right? Hopefully, this can help draw you in and learn why it's so important that you have this faith, that Christians are no different from anybody else, except for the fact that we do have this faith and we do understand that we do have these rules to live by, and that we do have this salvation. Um, hopefully, hopefully this might, if you're not a believer or if you're just beginning to be a believer, hopefully this draws you into church, a good church, and a place where you'll find community fellowship, and most importantly, God. If you're already a Christian and you just want to, you just like and enjoy Christian topics and discussions, welcome as well. No matter whether you are a Christian or just learning, that's fine. I still encourage you to get into the chat. We've got a group of great folks who come in and night out and make this show better with their own comments, with their own questions, with their own remarks. And you can be like that too. We have folks who are new to the faith, folks who know more than about me there. You will fit in just fine. It's very casual, very relaxed, and very open and honest. As open and honest as you want it to be. What you'll see is we are a community small enough that if you leave a comment, I'm going to react to it. I'm going to read it and I'm going to react to it. I'm going to give you an answer. I'm going to give you a response. So, without further ado, welcome to the show. Again, late again. Little crazy getting building into the stream tonight. Putting kids to bed. Getting a little late. Haven't eaten dinner. Me and my wife are like, we've got some gift cards for DoorDash left over from having the baby that some folks had given us. So let's get some of that. What do you want? I want Mexican food. We got a couple of Mexican places. One does. I'm sorry, these aren't DoorDash. This is Grubhub. One does Grubhub. All right, get me some choripollo and a couple of beef tacos. Awesome. Okay, and then we run into problems with the gift card, and then we run into a problem getting the order set up, and then once we get everything laid out and fleshed out, it says, "Up, delivery time has expired." If only this restaurant was on Pacific time, we would still be able to. I would have Mexican food on the way to me, but I do not, and now I'm sad. I'm big sad, but I still take refuge in the Lord in these trying times where I have to go without. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We had a great stream last night. We talked a lot about a really great article that had been written. And this is one of those things, whether you agree with it or not, I think it was put together from the perspective it was telling. Did a really good job putting its thoughts together well and making its case. And like I said, it was reflective of a lot of my thoughts. and that's why I read it on. I found it worthy to read. So good, I made you late. Welcome to the chat, Emmanuel Osorio, number one in the chat tonight. Glad to know things are going well in Abilene. Tejas right now waiting to get unloaded. Luckily, there's a Buffalo Wild Wings close, and I'm chilling right now. Let's get into the word. There you go. Yeah. Buffalo Wild Wings. Look, sometimes it's slow, but I tell you what, there is not a lot of sauces out there better than their Caribbean jerk sauce. Mm, so good. That's my favorite. That's my go-to every time. It has been my go-to since I first started going back in 2005. Um, Caribbean jerk has always been, man. Now I want some. Now I want some of that. Mm. Hang on, hang on. Let me let me let me message my wife. No, she's making something. She's making something now. I don't want. She's probably got stuff out. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. It's it's late. It's late, man. But Thursday's a bonus wing night too. Man, no, no, not doing it. Not doing it tonight. Maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow I'll just get Mexican food. Anyways, just a few more parts to my cedar deck pond. Wait, just a few more parts till my cedar deck pond it done. I'll know you'll clarify that in a second, Blaine. Emmanuel, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go all the way through the convo but the convo was very productive. I thought so too. Watch out for mattresses next to dumpsters. Yeah. Look, if there's a mattress next to a dumpster, I'm sure Emmanuel's going to take a swing. I don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. Alex Moore's here. Salute. How's it going, sir? We're going to talk about Nehemiah tonight. And we had a 2-hour plus episode last night. And we've got a fair amount of scripture to read through this evening. So we won't do much in the way of small talk this evening. We're going to get right into it. All right, so we're talking about Nehemiah. He's a wall builder. He likes the walls of Jerusalem. They're big, beautiful walls, and he wants to build them higher and intact. So he went the last time we were covering in chapters 1 and 2. We see that he was the cupbearer of the king Artaxerxes, who was ruling over Jerusalem at that point and much of the rest of the Middle East. And Nehemiah kind of asked some of his countrymen who have been traveling, hey, have you been to our home city? How does it look? And they said, things aren't going very well. Things are very bad. Things are pretty bad. Nehemiah gets a little depressed about it. King notices. Nehemiah tells him what it's all about when he asks. And the king says, go back and rebuild it. Here are some funds. Here is some permission slips. Go do what you're going to do. And so he takes that. And he takes that and he goes to Jerusalem and he's just assessing the walls and he realizes, we got a fair amount of work to do. And so he's going to roll up his sleeves and we're going to find out how they are going to attack it. Blaine says a tiny pond that goes on your deck made of cedar. No, I got that part, Blaine. It didn't make sense because you said till my cedar deck pond is done. Is done, I think, is what you were trying. It's till your cedar deck pond is done. Okay. The water area is 2x4 by 2 deep with a 2x1 overflow pump area. We have got a. It's not a deck pond. It's just a garden pond. We have koi fish in there. We had a koi in there that was that died 3 years ago. It had been there since they built that pond in 1992, 93, and so uh, now we got koi babies in there, along with a ton of goldfish. It's not huge. It's a little bit bigger than what you're showing 2x4. This is more of a 6x6 by probably about the same depth, 2 feet. And we have fishing line going across it because the hawks have been flying a little too low on that. I don't like that. So going to need to make them more than knee high. Yeah, knee high walls. Yeah. Renee said Nehemiah was the third shortest man in the Bible. Prove it. Prove it. Did he have small hands? I'll tell you what, Nehemiah wasn't low energy. All right, so let's get into things. Chapter 3, Nehemiah chapter 3, builders of the walls. Then Eliashib, the high priest, rose up with his brothers, the priests, and built the sheep gate. They consecrated it and set up its doors, and they consecrated the wall westward to the Tower of the 100, as far as the Tower of Hananel. Next to Eliashib, the men of Jericho built, and next to them, Zachar, the son of Imri, built. Now the sons of Hassenah built the fish gate. They laid its beams and set up its doors with its bolts and its bars. Next to them, Meremoth, son of Uriah, not Uriah the Hittite, the son of Uriah, the son of Hakaz, made repairs. Next to him, Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, the son of Meshezabel, made repairs. And next to him, Zadok, the son of Bana, also made repairs. Next to him, the men of Tekoa made repairs. But their nobles did not support the work of their overseers. Wonder what that's all about. There's a notation here. Oh, didn't help out. Their nobles did not help out the work of their overseers. There you go. Their second was Bildad from Job. You need to capitalize that J. He was a Shuhite. And I guess the most smallest was Zacchaeus. Nernath. Blaine said I had Sarasa comments in a little 100-gallon pond until it was ravaged by raccoons. This will have a better barrier to keep those rascals out. We haven't had a problem with raccoons getting in. At least not that I've noticed. And we do have them around. I do not have a visiting egret. We don't have a lot of egrets in this area. You have to go closer to. They stick to the rivers. Great for frog control. Well, we got plenty of frogs. Oh, there's a ton of bullfrogs in that pond as well. They seem to get along all right. All right. Post some citations here, Nernath. I'm not listening to this nonsense. Apostle Peter was the shortest. He was not. Anyways. Joiada, the son of Paseah, and Meshulah, the son of Besodiah, repaired the old gate. They laid its beams and set up its doors with its bolts and its bars. Next to them, Melatiah, the Gibeonite, and Jadon, the Meronothite, the men of Gibeon and of Mizpah, made repairs for the official seat, Jerusalem residence, of the governor of the province, beyond the Euphrates River. Next to them, Uziel, son of Harhiah, one of the goldsmiths, made repairs. Next to him, Hananiah, one of the perfumers, made repairs, and they restored Jerusalem as far as the broad wall. Next to them, Rephaiah, the son of Hur, or Hur, if you're thinking Ben-Hur, Hur, son of Hur, official of half the district of Jerusalem, made repairs. Next to them, Jediah, the son of Harumaph, made repairs opposite his own house. Next to him, Hattush, son of Hashabniah, made repairs. Malchijah, son of Harim, and Hashib, son of Pahath Moab, repaired another section in the tower of the furnaces. I'm getting sick. I go down to a third grade elite reading level. I don't know how far if I missed everything. I accidentally unplugged my Matthew 26:40. That's not. He came to disciples and found them sleeping and said to Peter, "So you men could not stay awake and keep me watch with me for 1 hour?" Or Nath. This doesn't say anything about that. Stop trolling me, Nernath. He's like, that doesn't make him the shortest. Stop being weird. All right. All right. All this to say, they're naming names of people who were participating in the building of the wall, right? And there are some folks who are participating and doing active work. Some are giving, are sending men. Some are sending funds. Some are, sitting back and just supervising. Doing the old Department of Transportation roadside repair thing. Matt Felty, how is it going, sir? Long time no see and chat. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you here. We are just getting into the reading, and we haven't gotten much other than the walls are going up. The walls are going up. The gates are going up. People are chipping in and helping out, which is good. Hanun and the inhabitants of Zanoah repaired the valley gate. They built it and set up its doors with its bolts and its bars, and repaired 1,000 cubits, 1,500 feet of the wall as far as the refuse gate. Not bad, dude. Malchijah, the son of Rechab, the official of the district of Beth Hakerem, repaired the refuse gate. He built it and set its doors with its bolts and its bars. Here we go. Shalom, son of Kolhoza, official of the district of Mizpah, repaired the fountain gate. He rebuilt it and covered it with a roof and set up its doors with its bolts and its bars. And he rebuilt the wall of the pool of Siloam, by the king's garden as far as the stairs that descend the eastern slope from the section of Jerusalem known as the city of David. After him, Nehemiah, the son of Azbuk, official of half the district of Beth Zur, repaired the wall as far as a point in front of the tombs of David, and as far as the artificial pool and the house of the guards. After him, the Levites carried out repairs under Rehum, the son of Bani. Next to him, Hashabiah, the official of half of the district of Keilah, carried out repairs for his district. After him, their brothers carried out repairs under Bavai, the the son of Henadad, official of the other half of the district of Keilah. Next to him, Ezer, son of Jeshua, the official of Mizpah, repaired another section northward in front of the ascent to the armory at the angle in the wall. After him, Baruch, son of Zabai, zealously repaired another section towards zealously repaired, guys. Another section towards a hill from the angle in the wall to the door of the house of Eliashib, the high priest. After him, Meremoth, the son of Uriah, the son of Hakaz, repaired another eastern section from the door of Eliashib's house as far as the end of his house. After him, the priests, the men of the lower Jordan Valley, carried out repairs. And after them, Benjamin and Hasub made repairs in front of their house. After them, Azariah, the son of Maaseiah, the son of Ananiah, carried out repairs beside his own house. After him, Binnui, the son of Henadad, repaired another section of the wall from the house of Azariah to the angle in the wall into the corner. Palau, the son of Uzziah, made repairs in front of the angle in the wall and the tower projecting from the upper house palace of the king, which is by the courtyard of the guard. After him, Pedaiah, the son of Parosh, made repairs. The temple servants were living in Ophel, the hill south of the temple, and they made repairs as far as the front of the water gate on the east and the projecting tower. After them, the Tekoites repaired another section in front of the great projecting tower and as far as the wall of Ophel. All right. I left your I left your chat up here, Matthew. Sorry about that. Oh, and welcome, Nernea, or I'm not Nico. Nico, what's going on, buddy? I saw you came in. I just forgot to say hi. That's on me. Sorry about that, buddy. Lots of people chipping in here. We're seeing a lot of names. A lot of this stuff seems like it's going on at the same time. Many hands make for what? Shorter work. And there's a lot to rebuild here. We're talking about a wall surrounding a city. And it's important for that. It's important to do this because it gives you security. It gives you consider security from bandits. It gives you security from raiders. And it kind of defines where you're at. Walls are good. Fences make for good neighbors, right? Have you ever heard that saying? Let's see. Think I'm not following you, Nath. So Nika, this is a more interesting book you came in for. Alex said, "Hey, parents are doing a Zoom Bible study while I listen to this." Manux Bears welcomes everyone. What do you? What is going on in here? What is going on in the chat? Said my brain thought that they were doing a fast Bible study at first. Renee said, "Zoomers are boomers. YouTube is cooler." Matt Felty said, "I enjoyed catching last night's subject on replay late last night." Thank you, Matt. I'm glad you liked it. Who said you're not welcome? Alex says the man upstairs welcomes you. A city with its walls broken down is like an instant bad neighborhood back then. Exactly. Or what is it? An open mind is like a fortress with its gates unbarred and unguarded. Add a little 40K to the mix, guys. Nath, you're always welcome. I just don't understand what's going on. Blaine says, and I'm actually going to try the opposite. Our hedge makes kids looking for places to smoke feel like they aren't being watched. Going to remove the hedge and use a big motion light. The hedge is different because it's not like they're traversable, but it's easy to kind of be obscured in them versus like an actual fence. But yeah, a motion light, They didn't have Ring doorbells back then, though. But I really want to. I got to go back here to what Nernea said. A city with its walls broken down is like an instant bad neighborhood back then. It's right. I mean, it's a place in shambles. You have to think about it this way: get in the mind of a bad guy, right, or criminal. The same thing, right? If you're looking for a mark, if you're looking for a place to hit, what are you looking for? You're looking for opportunity. You're looking for a score, and you're looking for how difficult it is. If there is stuff to be had, food, treasures, whatever. I mean, there was a lot of loot in Jerusalem. It was well known for being wealthy. The walls are down. It's an easy target. And maybe the folks come in to raid it. They don't find what they want. They're going to make it worth their while. They're going to take something, or they're going to take somebody. And they're not worried about retribution because look, if there was any type of force there that cared, the walls would have already been repaired. Said you don't have a real hedge. Look at 300-year-old English hedges. They did, Stu. It was the nosy cat lady. Thus the Egyptians. The Egyptians were the cat people. Nia said they burned and tore them up in wars in the Middle East because they were so formidable. Said nosy cat ladies had always had the scoop on everything since looking out the window all day. Yeah, but I might be right, actually. Blaine says, I hate all hedges. Grandparents had a 15-foot tall and wide laurel I had to prune. Yuck. How long was it, though? How much hedges? How long was the hedgerow? Alex said, no wonder we made hedge cutting equipment on the M4 Shermans. Oh, yeah, it's bad over there. All right, going back to the reading. Above the horse gate, the priests made repairs, each one in front of his own house. After them, Zadok, son of Immer, carried out repairs in front of his house. I want y'all to note this, how many people are doing repairs in front of their houses. I think this comes into play a little bit later on in a few chapters. After him, Shemaiah, the son of Shechaniah, the keeper of the east gate, repaired the wall. After him, Hananiah, the son of Shelemiah, and Hanun, the sixth son of Zalaph, it's important to note that he's the sixth son, repaired another section. After him, Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, carried out repairs in front of his own quarters. After him, Malchijah, one of the goldsmiths, carried out repairs as far as the house of the temple servants and of the merchants, in front of the inspection gate, and as far as the upper room of the corner. Between the upper room of the corner and the sheep gate, the goldsmiths and merchants carried out repairs. Only about 100 feet long, but I was 12. 100 feet is a decent amount of trimming, though. Emmanuel, did somebody say Dave's vote? The wall sounds pretty base, not going to lie. That's what I'm saying. It was based as long as the Israelites were honoring God. And then when they didn't and things came to a head, God finally said, it goes down. The wall comes down. All right, here we go. Chapter 4. The work is ridiculed. But when Sanballat heard that we were rebuilding the wall, he became furious, completely enraged, and he ridiculed the Jews. He spoke before his brothers and the army of Samaria. What are these feeble Jews doing? Can they restore it for themselves? Can they offer sacrifices? Can they finish in a day? Can they revive the stones from the heaps of dust and rubbish, even the ones that have been burned? Now Tobiah the Ammonite was beside him, and he said, even what they are building, if a fox should get up on it, he would break down their stone wall. So there you go. Sanballat, Tobiah, They're part of this group of folks, the outsiders, the folks on the folks beyond the river Euphrates, people that don't want to see Jerusalem rebuilt. They don't want to see Israel restored or Judah restored. For I mean, from their perspective, for good reason. Israel, in a godly Israel, a godly Judah, is going to run rampant over them because they're going to conquer them. They're going to win battles, and it's going to be an impediment to them controlling the area. But so what are they going to do? They're going to try to do whatever they can. Now they can't make them stop. We learned about that in Ezra. But they might try to bend the rules. They might try to indirectly harm them. And what they'll do is they'll try to make light of what's going on. Try to beat the morale out of them. Renee said, walls are cool as long as you're defending and not attacking it. I'm not attacking a wall without some onagers or trebuchets. I will find a field artillery battery as well. Cities without walls do not get many merchants visiting because they do not have a safe place to stay. Got to build that wall. And Nehemiah prayed, "Hear, O our God, how we are despised. Return their taunts on their own heads. Give them up as prey in the land of captivity. Do not forgive their wrongdoing, and do not let their sin be wiped out before you, for they have offended the builders and provoked you." So Nehemiah sends a little prayer to God. I want you to punish these heathen mockers and put them in their place. They're calling you out, and they are disrespecting you. So we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together to half its height, for the people had a heart to work. But when Sanballat, Tobiah, the Arabs, and the Ammonites, and the Ashdodites heard that the repairs of the walls of Jerusalem went on, and that the breaches were being closed, they were very angry. They all conspired together to come and fight against Jerusalem and to cause a disturbance in it. Okay. So they realized the mocking didn't work. The derision didn't work. These people are on a mission from God to rebuild this wall, and they're doing well at it. The walls were joined together up to half of its height. Those are big walls, so that's significant. The breaches are being closed, and when they see this, they are starting to get upset. There's not, because here's another thing to think of. These guys are not just worried about Jerusalem being powerful because it means they're going to lose influence themselves, but maybe they're having something to do with taking advantage and looting Judah, Israel, since it's in its weakened state, and they won't have this nation to take advantage of anymore if they can stand up and defend themselves. Just saying, makes sense. Discouragement overcome. But we prayed to our God, and because of them, we set up a guard against them day and night. Then the leaders of Judah said, the strength of the burden bearers is failing, and there is much rubble. We ourselves are unable to rebuild the wall. Our enemies said, they will not know or see us until we are among them. Kill them and put a stop to the work. When the Jews who lived near them came, they said to us 10 times repeatedly, from every place you turn, they will come up against us. So I stationed armed men behind the wall in the lowest places and at the open positions where it was least protected. And I stationed the people and families with their swords, spears, and bows. When I saw their fear, I stood and said to the nobles and officials and the rest of the people, Do not be afraid of them. Confidently remember the Lord, who is great and awesome, and with courage from him, fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and for your homes. Matt Felty says, kind of to your point, progress was made, and thus the threat mindset creeps in. Yes. And so now, so here's their way of attacking them. They're going to send people in amongst them and kill them. They get wind of this. Maybe this happens a couple of times. Maybe they succeed a couple of times in doing this. And so Nehemiah goes, okay, now we're going to arm ourselves. We're going to post up guards around the walls in the places where it's most vulnerable. And then we're going to arm them in their houses. This is a place where many Second Amendment fans like to point out that there is some biblical evidence that the right to bear arms is a Christian tenet, because this is what Nehemiah is doing. Now, take that for what you will. In this particular context, they are on a mission from God. So it's not just themselves that they're protecting for their sake of protecting themselves. They're protecting themselves so that they can accomplish something that God instructed them to do. Emmanuel says morale is a serious thing that a lot of non-combatants don't think about. Non-combatants don't think about a lot of things. Because you're not thinking it, because that's not where your mind is at, right? Nehemiah Hood watch BC style. Native. Matt Felty said, "Oh, like that local Kennesaw, Georgia city law. I don't know what that is, but please share that." Um, what was I going to say? Oh, okay, but they're arming themselves. They have a mission. There are enemies. They're not going to just stop because the guard at the wall is going to say, "Hey, God wants us to do this." They might go, "Oh," they're not going to go, "Oh, okay. Well, God wants you to do that, so I'm not going to actually attack. I'm not going to try to kill you." No, they're going to fight back, and that causes some people to be afraid. You know, you're there to do a job of building, right? Oh, firearm required in each house. Yes, call that the Nehemiah law. Um, think of it this way, right? The world is a much more dangerous place in many respects back then. But think about it this way: you're out there building, and somebody tells you and said, "Hey, here's a sword, here's a spear, here's a bow. Keep it close to you, keep it on you at all times, and if somebody comes in to attack you, use it." And you've heard some stories about people being attacked. Okay, not everybody's a fighter, not everybody's a soldier. People get scared. Men can get scared about that. It's not necessarily just fear for their own skin, but fear of failure to protect themselves and their families. Fear of that something might happen to their kids. We're talking about families. They're nervous. Nobles and officials, that's politicians. They're afraid of everything. So Nehemiah stands next to them and reminds them the same thing. Remember your roots, Israelites. We need to be confident that the Lord will protect us. The Lord will watch over us and will guide our combat to victory. And then he reminds, and with courage from him, fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and for your homes. That's the part right there. That's the part right there that you can point to. Fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and for your homes. Didn't say fight to protect them because they need to build this wall. but because somebody's trying to kill them. Now, when our enemies heard that we knew about their plot against us and that God had frustrated their plan, we all returned to the wall, each one to his work. From that day on, half of my servants carried on the work, while the other half held spears, shields, bows, and breastplates, and the captains were behind the whole house of Judah. Those who were rebuilding the wall and those who carried burdens loaded themselves so that everyone worked with one hand and held a weapon in the other. Every builder had his sword secured at his side as he built, and the one who surrounded the trumpet to summon the troops stood at my side. I said to the nobles, the officials, and the rest of the people, the work is great and extensive, and we are separated on the wall, far from one another. Wherever you hear the sound of the trumpet, gather to us there. Our God will fight for us. So we carried on the work, with half of them holding spears from dawn until the stars came out. At that time, I also said to the people, let each man with his servant spend the night inside Jerusalem, so that they may serve as a guard for us at night and the laborer during the day. So neither I, my brothers, relatives, my servants, nor the men of the guard who followed me, none of us took off of our clothes. Each took his weapon, even to the water. Dude, this is serious, right? Because we're not talking about, and you might be asking yourself, why don't they just send an army to take out these Israelites? Well, the reason is they can't do that. They've been instructed very seriously and um, very pointedly from the king, do not impede. Now, maybe they can't prove that these guys are trying to kill him, that these plots trace all the way back to the Tobiah, or whatever the guy's name was, Tobiah the Ammonite. Can't trace it back to Sanballat, but they know, right? They know who's behind it, and whoever's behind it is not really the point anyway. What the point is they need to get this job done, and they need to protect themselves in doing so. So it's a very real danger, and they're taking it seriously. And it's good to take things seriously, because if you take this seriously, hopefully you're also taking the word of God seriously. Just throwing that out there. All right. So that's going to wrap up the stream for tonight. Okay. It's a shorter stream than normal. Only 45 minutes in. Not quite 45 minutes, but by the time I hit end, it'll be 45 minutes. We did 2 hours last night. If you didn't catch that stream, it's a good stream. Nath, I'd be interested to get your thoughts on that. So there we stand. Looks like the wall is coming together. Looks like there's a lot of work to be done. Looks like there's a lot of people working to get it done. There are some outside forces plotting against them and trying their best, not just to keep them from building the wall, but to kill them. But the work continues. And there you have it. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap that up for tonight. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow night if I stream. I keep saying I'm gonna stream and then I don't, so I'll be that guy. But if I'm streaming tomorrow, maybe we'll finally get to the Hittites. Nath sent me a link to the Hittites. I'd like to discuss it a little bit and see what all the discussion is about them. With that said, guys, we're gonna check out for tonight. So Nath, Matt Felty, Emmanuel, Osorio, Blaine, Alex, Nico, thanks for the chat, guys. Thanks for the contributions. Thanks for being here. Thank you to everybody who's listening and not commenting. It's not a super big deal. Like I said, I encourage you to do so, but if you just want to listen, that's fine. I'm just glad you're here. To everybody listening on the back end, I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully I catch you live soon. And everybody have a very great evening. I'll see y'all later. Good night and God bless.